I think mostly it's that like striving for a deep and thorough understanding and sitting with the things that I don't know, appreciating them for being, as complicated as they are, but really trying to understand them from every angle that I can, knowing that if I just kind of take the easy way out and maybe hack something together or take something off Stack Overflow, and I don't really know how the code works, but this guy says it works, so I'll just throw it in here. That is like really not productive toward molding and sculpting your brain to be able to code long term and really grow as an engineer, become a 10x engineer and things like that. So for me, it's slowing down with the material, really taking ownership over the things I know and the things I don't know. App Academy, like I was always the person in my class who raised my hand during lecture, and actually a good example is like the lecture started off and the person's talking about APIs and they're like, oh, and then if this is your target API, you could do this, and this was going on for 5 minutes. I finally raised my hand and I'm like, what's an API? And the whole rest of my class kind of like laughed, but in agreement with me. They were all, nobody had an idea or a definition of what an API was. It's actually pretty hard to define in totality, but just owning up to the things that you don't know and respecting yourself and your process enough to ask questions, and kind of fight that feeling that like, oh, this is embarrassing or I'm supposed to know this. I think that's poison in developers' mind, that like, am I supposed to know this? Am I gonna, seem like silly if I ask this question? I think just throwing that away is an important skill I learned here.